What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan, by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
Woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for waking up early to join us. Lions Talk Live Super Sunday Bowl Show Edition. And yes, that's right. The final game of this season is here tonight. Who do you have winning it all? Are you going to be watching the game? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Me, I'm going to say the Seahawks are probably going to win by about 20 points, maybe 17, somewhere in that range. I don't think it's going to be as close as maybe some are anticipating. Now, I'm just hoping it can be a game for the vast majority of the clock and scoreboard, but I do think the Seattle Seahawks and that defense and offense are looking pretty good. Maybe I've been wrong. Maybe I'll be wrong. We'll have to wait and see, but it is Super Bowl Sunday here today. While we're going to be talking about that, I'm sure in the Duke Crew comments section, at least a little bit, there is some positive Pete news that have come out in the last 24 hours about your Detroit Lions. And let's be honest, this is great news. This is news that every Lions fan wanted out there. And here's what we can say. We got an update on both Brian Branch and Sam I Am Laporta. So we'll dive into that during the main topic of the day. If you're a Lions fan, I understand why maybe there's some stress, hesitation when it came to news on both gentlemen, but you know what? It's good news across the board with both, and we'll get into that momentarily during the main topic of the day. Before we do that, you know, we got 5 headlines now. Before we get into that, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We are just, 14 subs away from hitting 16,200. So if you can help out with that, that would be awesome and great. Also, if you have a half second of time, doesn't cost a dime, reach on down, left, center, wherever it is on your respective screen, hit the thumbs up button, the like button, and hit all the buttons while you're at it. We try to get every episode of the show between 200, 300, 400 or more thumbs up or likes. Last, it's never the least, if you are in the state of Michigan, considering buying or selling property, or if you're outside of the state of Michigan, you still contact me. You see my cell phone number on your screen. That is 269-998-2384. If you want somebody who's going to work for you, fight to get the price right, fight to make sure that no stones are left unturned, and try to save you a bunch of hassle, stress, worries, cash, all the things above, then go ahead and reach out to me, call me, text me. We'll have a conversation with what I can do for you and try to remove some of those worries from you. All right, all that done, settle away. Let's get this Super Sunday show going. Rock it, roll it, kick it off with 5 headlines now. And just to be fair, this will be like yesterday. The 5 headlines now will include the main topic today. Will be the final one. But hey, let's get into it. All right, 5 glorious headlines rolling out. Aiden Hutchinson reveals who is most, quote, badass player. SI.com story by Vito Scerrito. This one does kind of slightly roll into the main topic of the day. You'll see where I'm going with that real quickly. Aiden Hutchinson, you guys get it. Gibbs, Hutch, a bunch of Lions, a bunch of NFL players have been out all week long working press junkets, press row, leading into the Super Bowl. The wife's sister was even out there yesterday. She works for a company that does, sells merchandise and things of that sort, product. And because of that, out near the Super Bowl, dealing some stuff, talking to people. You guys get it. Everybody's there for the Super Bowl. There's different companies. I don't care if it's McDonald's or Timbuktu company. Everybody's out there trying to be a part of it. Long story short, Hutchinson talked to reporters about Brian Branch, talked about all the things he brings to the team, talked to ESPN, talked to, too many different places for me to even list it all. But part of those conversations did emerge during one of these shows, one of these press junkets, conversation about Brian Branch. And he said, maybe a little bit more than he should have, but he did slip up and say that he's already walking around his own pretty dang good. Now, I reached out to different representations in the Detroit news community, and from all different reports, Brian Branch is slightly ahead of the curve. Slightly is going to come down to your interpretation of the news and what it means. But for those who've never blown out Achilles, if it was a full blown out, he probably would be looking at coming back late in the year, if at all, this upcoming season, as far as being a fully functional player. It sounds like that isn't the case. It wasn't a full blowout. It sounds like it was more of a partial tear in the Achilles, which is good news. There's a stronger emerging set of circumstances where if he continues the great alleged, I should say, let me reword that. If he continues the alleged speedy recovery that he's going through, he might be back on the field for the Detroit Lions in September of next year. Is he going to be 100% at that point? There's just too many variables, too much time between now and then to really answer that question. But what all the reports are suggesting, whether it's out of Detroit, whether it's out of things being slipped out by Hutchinson, or other people have seen him out and about, rolling around doing things, it does sound like Brian Branch is making a fairly speedy recovery. I'm not going to say it's like over the top or some sort of miracle comeback or recovery, but it does sound like he is ahead of the curve, which is good news. If it was just a normal procedure, so not an egregious Achilles tear, not a slight Achilles tear, you probably were realistically looking at him coming back somewhere early in November, maybe late October. And the fact that it's now sounding like late September, it doesn't seem like the biggest amount of savings of time, maybe 3 to 4 weeks, depending on how you're slicing it and dicing it. But we get it. It is a significant increase that you may be a month back ahead of time. Brian Branch gets back. To be the biggest thing watching him is how fast is he getting in and out of breaks? Is he back to being Brian Branch, or is this going to long-term affect some of his athleticism? These are questions we can't answer at this point, but the fact that he's trending towards an earlier return versus a later or neutral return, that's all good news. Credit to Brian Branch, credit to the training staff, and maybe it wasn't a full tear of the Achilles. I still haven't been able to get that confirmed by anyone. Simple answer is they may not know. All right, let's move on to the next of the 5 glorious headlines now. Jets hire Lions positional coach as their passing game coordinator. SB Nation story by Eric Schlitz. So you knew this was going to happen. It has been happening more and more in the recent years. And last year, we obviously lost a ton of front office staff, coaching staff, staff for the staff. But this year, it's continued that trend. And if you didn't know, then according to ESPN's Adam Schefter, Detroit's now former defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn, is hiring Lions assistant tight ends coach Seth Ryan. He's going to be the new passing game coordinator for the Jets. Yes, he is Rex Ryan's son. Many of you remember, I want to say it was last year's training camp. Maybe it was the one before that. But Rex was in effect at training camp supporting his son, just stopping by for a day, say hi. And now his son is going to be a part of the Jets and Aaron Glenn. Glenn is having a hard time filling out his coaching staff since he basically fired everybody, but this is a big move for him because it's one less thing he's got to worry about. Is this a huge loss for the Detroit Lions? That will come down to your viewpoints on things. I think anytime you lose continuity, consistency, it does have an effect. Are they going to be able to overcome it? Sure, not a problem, but it will take time for whoever they're going to hire or promote to take that spot from Seth Ryan to kind of get acclimated to things. How long is that going to take? Probably not the longest thing, but hey, kudos to him for getting the promotion. All right, why the Detroit Lions should target Packers tight end John Fitzpatrick, SI.com, story by Emmett Makowski. This is probably something we're going to be dealing with all offseason. Lions should hire this or sign this tight end, draft this one. Lions are more than likely, if we believe that Drew Pretzing is going to take everything he did over in Arizona and try to replicate it in the aggregate over in Detroit, then you're probably looking at the Lions adding or putting some level of priority on adding more tight end depth. We understand the NFL is trendy, and like any professional sports, If somebody starts doing something, having success, everybody's going to kind of replicate it. Think about this. When the Lions took over this regime, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, etc., there weren't many teams drafting running backs in the first or second round anymore, let alone linebackers. Now, because of the Detroit Lions, it's kind of gotten back to that way. People have revalued those positions. The other part of it is, go back for the most part over the last decade, 12 and 13 personnel formations kind of went the way of the dodo. It just fell out of favor. But now in the last 2 years, you're seeing more and more teams, including the Detroit Lions, go back to those standards, trying to own the ground game, own the clock, etc. So if Petzing is going to continue that trend for the Detroit Lions, you're going to want to see him go after people like John Fitzpatrick, or the Lions go after him, because it's easier to run those 12 and 13 personnels. He blocks well. He can run intermediate routes and shorter routes. You know, how much is it going to cost to get him? I'll leave that to your guys' devices. But my anticipation is, per this report, if they do go after him, he's probably going to be tight end number 2 or potentially 3. And if you're going to run a ton of 12 and 13 personnel, you're probably going to look at more like 3 or 4 tight ends even being on the roster. You know, this guy's not a bad pickup by any stretch of the imagination. He is a situational player. However, he also might get cut because of a torn Achilles injury he suffered through during the Green Bay Packers overtime loss to the Bears in last December. So could you pick him up, get him on the cheap, and as long as he heals up okay, you probably got a bit of a great return on your investment? I would think that's the case, and I agree with the story. All right, next to the 5. Glorious headlines now. Making the case for the Detroit Lions to re-sign Raquel Singh. Last word on sports. Sulavine penned this one. What are your thoughts on who should be resigned from the secondary for the Detroit Lions? You know, part of this main topic, we just gave you an update on Brian Branch, and it does sound like he's going to be back this year in sooner versus later in the season. Again, we got to wait to see what happens, but you also understand Terrion Arnold's coming off an injury. Kirby Joseph, who knows? We'll wait and have to see over the offseason. And now, what do you do with those rest of the spots? Meek the Freak Robinson, he's going to need a new contract if you're going to bring him back. Do you want him back? How about Raquel Singh? Well, just talking about Raquel Singh and the other people mentioned, he's one of the few people, The Rock is, that can play safety and cornerback. He can play inside and outside cornerback. So from that standpoint alone, he gives you a ton of versatility if you're Kelvin Shepard in the defense of the Detroit Lions. Can he play him in the slot? Yes. Can he play him either safety? Yes. Can he play him outside wide? Yes. And what else does he do other than defend the pass? He sets edges and defends the run pretty dang well. And not that some of the other people mentioned don't do that, but he's just gives you another layer on the defense. One less thing you got to worry about, right? There was even a stretch this past season you could argue that he was the number 1 corner for the Detroit Lions. He had a stretch of 3 or 4 games where he played pretty dang well. I think we all understand DJ Reed before the hamstring injury probably was the Lions' number 1 cornerback. When he came back, you know, whether the hamstring just wasn't right, maybe he lost some of his conditioning, maybe there's a multitude of things. Reed just wasn't who he was before the hamstring tear. He's going to be back. Arnold will be back. So do you bring back The Rock to help you, give you more stability throughout that secondary? My simple answer would be yes, but what is your thoughts on him? I like the guy, and I love the fact he can play the run, be physical, get in the pass, jam, press, play over the top, play underneath. We'll see what you guys have to say in the comment section. We'll see if the Lions bring him back too. All right, last of 5. Glorious headlines now, and this will also play into the main top of the day. So Sam Laporta, again, same as Brian Branch, people talking, maybe saying things they shouldn't, maybe giving him a few more tidbits or breadcrumbs than they wanted to do. But when you put a mic in front of people, especially when people aren't really programmed or have somebody hold their hand saying, hey, we're going to talk about this, we're not going to talk about that, that's not uncommon in the green room going into a TV show, whether you're watching like the Dan Patrick Show or Rich Eisen or whoever show you're going to watch. When the guests are sitting there waiting, they have a green room off stage, people are sitting there, and they're going to kind of walk you through, especially if you've got any kind of representation with you. We're not going to talk about this. Don't talk about that. But when you're talking about something like press row, people are just walking up and down the aisles. They're not really being prepped ahead of time, so things do pop out. Getting back to Sam I am with this, let's just face facts where it's at. And hey, we got some great updates on him. Apparently, he's walking around, has full range of flexibility in his back. Now, why does this matter? And this comes from interviews with different Detroit Lions players. One of the big ones would be Gibbs, who was out there yesterday at press row working some different stuff for the league. And when the topic of Sam Laporta came up, said how they had done some offseason workouts already, Gibbs and Laporta. He's got full range in the back. Remember, he had a partially dislocated vertebrae in his back. And then, yes, a disc issue in the left side of his lower back, or low disc displacement as well. That's where the surgery had to come in to help correct the disc. So the fact that he's just a couple months away from past that, and he's got full range of motion, he's already going through some physical workouts on the back, means that whatever the injury was, whoever you want to listen to on it, it's already been healed up quite a bit. And now he's got a few more months, we'll say 4 more months, to really do stuff before training camp and everything else. OTAs probably would be the first thing up. But it's probably all spelling good news. He's going to have, if he's already got his flexibility back in that lower aspect of his back, then by the time OTAs have passed, but let alone by the time we get to really training camp in August, September, and all that stuff when the regular season hits, Sam Laporta is going to be right as rain. He's going to get as good of attention on that stuff. And I have to assume Lions personnel, coaching staffs, they're going to protect him as best they can in training camp, in the preseason. Let's also be fair, Dan Campbell doesn't really play the starters in the preseason games, does stuff as far as being physical during practice. Maybe if there's some joint practices, inter-squad scrimmages, we'll see stuff. But my full anticipation is Sam Laporta, with this information, if he's not 100% by training camp, he's going to be something like 90, 95%. Maybe it'll just be a few small details here and there. They're going to protect him. They understand the weapon he is. And with the good news between him and Brian Branch, it helps take away some of the worries I would think the Lions fan base has, also the coaching staff has, about what am I going to be working with next year. Laporta, he is a pretty dang good tight end. When we made the trade of TJ Hockenson, you may have completely different views on Hawk than I did. I liked Hawk. I just didn't think he run blocked very well. And you've probably heard me over the years say it. I just thought at his time and in his evolution in his career as a player with the Detroit Lions, he really rounded pass patterns coming out of breaks, especially towards the sidelines, which is why so many DBs would undercut him and pick off passes. Laporta, from day one, he doesn't have that. He's gotten better and better with route running, but he never really under-routed or undercut things. He came out of breaks pretty crisp. You could watch his foot placement, his elbow placement. He was already pretty advanced at that. So I always thought the Lions, they really won on that trade because they saved 3-4 years worth of salary, and they got comparably just as good a tight end with the pick. All right. That's what I got for your 5 headlines now. Main top of the day. Let's see what you guys have to say in the Duke Crew comment section. So you guys knew probably coming to today's shows being Super Sunday wouldn't be the longest show, but we'll try to get you guys through the comment section and see what you guys have to say. Let me know your score predictions. I've given you mine, but hey, let me know also what you're going to be doing during the show. You're going to hang out with friends, family. What's your favorite meal or drink? I guess if you like the delicious Mountain Dew, you probably already knew that was mine for the game. All right, Michael, greetings, salutations, Coach Dan and Duke Crew, exclamation point, one pride, woo, and back at you, Johnny L. Good morning, folks, and good morning, Johnny. So what's the good news? Now you know, Eddie Moore Sr. Good morning, Coach Dan, the Duke Crew. What a team, what a podcast, exclamation point, what a time, be a Lions fan, woo, and hey, as always, pleasure to see you. Detroit Matt, good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. I can't believe it's already the Super Bowl. I feel like the season has gone by so fast. I got the Pats, unfortunately, winning this one, 31-17. Doesn't matter to me who wins it. I just hope it's a fun game to watch. I do think the Seahawks are going to win, but, man, I've been wrong before many times. Johnny L., I have a feeling in the Pats you're going to pull it out too. We'll find out. Marshawn, good news on Brian Branch and Sam. I am Laporta, question marks, love it, exclamation point. Woo! Yeah, in both situations, I think it's very good news because, again, you've got people kind of not really meaning to give the news out, but you do because, again, they don't have handlers on Super Bowl roll and all that. So Both guys, it sounds like, are going to be ahead of schedule. Laporta, it's always been my anticipation he was going to be back before the start of the regular season. So unless there's something that happens between now and then that sets him back, he's going to be back day one, the first game of the regular season next year. I think most of us, and hearing from different doctors, whether, this guy, that guy, whoever sports medicine is, it sounded like Brian Branch, the anticipation was he'd be back in November. Well, now that he may be back at the end of September, early October, that's pretty good news. Johnny, I believe the Pats are going to win too. Could be true. Henry Moore, personally, I don't care who wins. The Lions are not playing, but Darnold might show up today, but whatever. Yep, we'll see. Again, I just hope it's a good one. Johnny, I'm totally with you on that. I might not even watch it, Henry. Okay? Silver Server, good morning, Coach, and all Lions faithful, and back at you, my friend. Any more senior? Good morning, Johnny L., Marsha, and everyone. Johnny, back at you, Henry. Conan the Barbarian. The team and fan base could use some good news on both players. I agree with that. They are key components to our future. They are very much so. Johnny L., I bet you the Vikings are kicking themselves in the butt. Probably true, and that could be why their GM got shown the door. You let two different quarterbacks who could have really been your long-term answers with Daniel Jones leaving, get out of the building, and it is what it is at this point. You better hope that JJ works out. Good news, question mark. If Sam gets healthy for real, that's great. BB, question mark, I cannot see him being there 100% at the beginning of the season. Hope they don't pressure him. Hope he doesn't rush back to get a contract. No, I got to imagine they're gonna be respectful to both. That just seems to be the mantra of MCDC Brand Homes, the organization. Johnny, I agree with you. Silver, he's going to get a new contract no matter what. Probably accurate. JK, Sam Darnold, a journeyman quarterback, might get a ring before golf really stings. How about that? It might be. Trey, what's good, everybody? Question mark. Hey, I guess we need to give Brad some credit for not selecting Pierce. Yeah, I seen that news yesterday. Pierce Jr., everyone's seen the news on him yesterday. Maybe the team does know more than us after all. To your point, and I don't know the full dynamics. I know my brother Tim sent me over some of the news. I know Hutch Jr. and a bunch of you guys sent me over the news. But late yesterday, and again, I don't know all the details because I didn't pay attention to it. James Pierce Jr., something happened with him and the police. I think it had something to do with the girlfriend. He tried to run away from the police in his car and got in an accident. So I don't know the full details, but I think that's more or less the story. Silver Surfer, good morning, Henry Moore, Johnny L., and Marsha, all of the above. JK, hey, Silver Surfer, Henry Moore Sr., Johnny L., absolutely. Who could believe they let a tried and true quarterback go in favor of a rookie? I think that Darnold was a diamond in the rough. To your point, I guess in a sense the Vikings invested a pretty good level first-round pick into J.J. McCarthy. That put some pressure on them to say, hey, we're going to let these other guys walk and believe in J.J. And not that J.J. did terrible for a rookie. I get it's his second year, but let's also be fair. His first year was cut real short because of the injury, his knee injury or whatever it was. So this was really his rookie year. Johnny L, smash the like buttons for a coach. Hit the like and subscribe. And thank you, Johnny L. Yes, sir, Henry. See, Jess. Trey Tippin, I did see that. Remember when Derek went off during the draft in a few days about the Lions not selecting him or trading up for him? Question mark. Glad we didn't pick him. And yeah, I get part of our job as content creators or just fans in general is to cheer on the team. We always want the best for them. That also doesn't mean we always know what's best for them. You know, there's just so much that goes into the study of each player that you're potentially going to select. NFL teams, NBA teams, I mean, there's layers and layers and layers of scouting on each player possible that most fans just don't know about. You look at something on a mock draft site and you feel like you know them, but that doesn't give you all the inside information. Just from what I do with scouting, I can tell you any player I put a recommendation out for, there's probably like a few weeks of interview process, me just watching how they form words and sentence structures before I even put something out with them. So, let that sink in. All right, Big Eddie, JPJ has all the talent, but he had a bad rep too coming out of college. I do seem to remember some questions about it. I don't remember the full story, but I do remember some teams having a red flag on him because of some stuff in college. I bet he gets suspended for several games at the least. Could be accurate. Henry Moore Sr. Hey, Jess, Silver, Jess, and JK. Bad Bunny equals bad Jack Rabbit. I don't know enough about him. Silver Surfer, if you believe in patterns, Darnold seems to lack when the moment is critical. But he could change that tonight. Correct with that. Yeah, one swing of the bat, right? If he wins tonight, that will change a lot of opinions on him. On the other hand, May looks like he is destined to win. Scared of nothing. We'll see. We'll see indeed. Trey, glad he's Atlanta's problem and not ours, Big Eddie. I agree with that. Johnny L, Bad Bunny, are you kidding me? I don't know. What do you do? See, Dave, some like him, Johnny, some don't. It's okay if you're on the other side of that. Okay. Let's see. Silver Server, JK, morning, Mr. J. Gotta be a good morning for everybody. Johnny L, Dave Bing, I don't think he's a very good setup for the Super Bowl halftime show. Yeah, I don't know. I rarely watch the Super Bowl halftime shows. Henry Moore, who is Bad Bunny? Question mark. Never heard of him. I know he's a singer, but I've heard, I think, maybe one of his songs. I'm not 100% sure. Johnny L, Jack Rabbit. Okay. JK, what's good, brother? We'll find out. Johnny, this is fun. Got to have fun. Henry Moore, and still never heard of it. All right. Jess, what do you got? You can't make everyone happy. Anyone you put up for the halftime show isn't going to work for someone, while others will like whoever. Yeah, correct with that. Yeah. And, that's part of having a very worldwide fan base nowadays with the NFL. There's going to be some people that never heard of whoever you put up on the stage, and then some will like them, some will don't like them. There's probably not one or two artists you can throw up there that everybody worldwide is going to say, that works for me. All right, Johnny L, I guess you could look at it that way, Jess. All right, Sonic and Knuckles will be back together. I concur. Johnny L, thank you, Jesus, for Sonic and Knuckles. Yes, we're all very thankful to have them on our team. Conan the Barbarian, if you don't like the halftime show, go get something to eat and watch the Puppy Bowl. Not a big deal. Hey, do they still do the Puppy Bowl? I didn't even think about that. Henry Moore Sr., that is so true, Jess. You can't please all the people all the time, but you can please some of the people some of the time. Correct with that. Drake, what did Junior do? Question mark. Looking up now and reads like he ran from the cops and crashed his car doing so. Yeah, that sounds right to me. But again, I didn't really pay a ton of attention to it since it wasn't specifically Detroit Lions news. JK, Sonic and Knuckles is restructured, maybe even resurrected. Let's see, Drake, if you don't know who Bad Bunny was, all this was giving him a lot of free publicity. That's probably accurate, probably very accurate. Anymore, in my opinion, I would like some old-fashioned rock and roll music. Probably true for some people. Johnny L, now you're talking Henry. It's Silver Surfer. Johnny, we all support Montgomery. We really want him running the ball. Let's hope Detroit understands that we, the fans, are right. Most important, he needs carries, not a cleanup player. All right, France, I get that anymore. That's reflective of some of our ages, though. And there are a lot of people who will watch the game that are 10, 20, 40 years younger that do not know those songs or artists. That is the other part of things. I mean, again, talking about a worldwide platform, do people in, wherever you want to say, South America, do they know the artist? Or people in the west side of the United States, the east side of the United States, the middle of the United States, let alone Grand Rapids, Detroit, or Kalamazoo, Michigan. I mean, think about trying to select something that's going to work for 60% of the worldwide viewing audience. It's got to be a challenge. Henry Moore, if you really don't know who someone is, then they must not have an impact on your situation. Yeah, could be. So, Scott, my hope for the game tonight is that it's close, not a blowout. I would like that as well. Henry Moore, that's true, France. Some might like that kind of educational content. All right. Johnny L, wait. Oh, what? There's a game tonight? I didn't know that. And now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Woo! Back at you. Coach Rock, good morning, Duke Crew. Hope those two players can recover and play ball as long as they want. Yes, and both of them would be significant returns for the Detroit Lions. Who's the bigger factor? And I don't know. They both, one plays offense, one plays defense. The fact that they're both going to be back, it sounds like sooner in the season versus later, just good news for the Detroit Lions. JK, my girl is a Puerto Rican, and I heard it all, and I listened to every genre song still. Good stuff. Let's see, Henry Moore Jr. Good morning, Bo. There's a game tonight. Oh, well. All right. Coach Rock, I hope the Puppy Bowl's on at halftime. I didn't realize it was still on, but if it is, hey, maybe tune on in. Server, Drake, that's right. He messed up. Hopefully the girl and him, not easy having relationships when you are young, famous, and rich. need a solid foundation, especially if you see lots of wrongs. Correct with all that. Hopefully, just talking from the human component only, hopefully both of them are okay and figure things out. Five Fingers Freddy, just don't throw the puppies. I like the way you're thinking there. Johnny, hey, Coach, Better Made Chips have the new seasoned shakers, and that's one hot. I guess it's really hot. Okay, I like hot sauces. You guys probably all know. I'll be watching at least the first half of the game with the Sarge and crew. JK, Puppy C Snip. Okay. Lauren, good morning, Coach and crew. Glad we have some good news about Brian Branch and Sam. I am Laporta. Gotta love them both, right? Dre Day. I read Laporta will be fine by next season, training camp, but I haven't heard an update on Brian Branch. Hope it is great news. Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph are missing links to the defense. Yeah, when they both went out and the back part of the defense, it's not disrespectful to Avonte Maddox or some of the other fill-in options, but are they the same level as Branch's Kirby? No. I mean, that's probably the best safety tandem, or at least one of the best ones in the NFL. John, maybe we can trade a late-round pick for James Pierce. I'll offer a 6th. Ooh, try to jump in when the irons are hot. Sosimo, I'd rather just bring back Houston and give him some clean pants. That would probably be great if you could clean up his pants for him. Server, good morning, Dre Day and Lauren, all the above. Riley O'Brien, good morning, Coach, and do crew. Exclamation point, back at you. Dre Day, morning, Silver. They are not giving us Pierce Jr. Probably not. I don't know the full situation, but wait and see. Steve Rogers, good morning, Duke Crew, and same to you. Johnny L., who is this Pierce guy? He was in the draft last year. I forget what college he played for, but he was one of the better. He was probably like one of the top 5 players in the draft when it just came to a skill, athletic standpoint. There were questions about, I want to say, his personality or some off-the-field stuff that had him drop basically into the early 20s. All right, Dre Day, domestic violence is not a character MCDC wants on his team. Probably true. Johnny L., peace out. The show's about to begin. I'll see y'all tomorrow. See you then. Same old soup. Good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. Like number 14. Yes, thank you for that. And if you guys can hit the like, share, copy, paste, all that stuff, subscribe. Amy Spray, good greetings, Sad Tasteless. Coach Dan, our wonderful Duke Crew. Well, today is my son's birthday. Happy birthday. He's 49 and holding, laughing out loud. We hope to watch the game with our Lions play, but it is what it is. Exclamation point. Looking forward to next year. Me too. Me too indeed. Johnny L., one more thing before I go smash those buttons. Dennis, good morning, Dan and Duke Crew. JK, morning news. I got to have news in the morning, right? Dre Day, James Pierce Jr. was arrested after a police chase in Atlanta over a domestic violence chase. Not really Lions material, right? But might be very, very true. Miles Margaret, great morning all. Let's go Hawks. And back at you. How you doing today, my friend? Coach Rock, it's been is what it is for way too many years. Amy, shake my head. All right. Black Jared Jones, good Sunday, Duke Crew, and back at you. Tori Apple, let's hope for a good game. That's where I'm going. Coach Rock, great morning, Miles Margaret. A bit cold up your way. It's a bit cold here to do today. It is 19 degrees outside, according to the computer. Server, Amy, good morning, Amy, and happy birthday to your son. Exclamation point. Hopefully a Lions fan. It sounds like it. King SJ, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Back at you. Feels like it's been a hot second since we've seen you. Lauren, oh, but Jesus, the Super Bowl is today. Yes, it is, my friend. Yes, it is. It is Super Sunday. Henry Moore Sr., I am sure my smartphone will keep me updated on the score. Probably very, very true. Gun Guy, I'm just happy Stafford lost. There you go. Ready, Seattle by 14, Darnold MVP. It could be accurate. Gun Guy, what happened to the super mobile quarterbacks? That is accurate. Yeah, neither quarterback. I mean, they're not, statues back there, but they're not exactly the most mobile guys. Silver Gun Guy smiling with a thumbs up. King SJ, got a feeling we are a few lower scoring games today. Hopefully Seattle pulls it off. We'll find out. Silver Gun Guy, May is very mobile and a great scrambler though. All right, Dre Day. Drake is very mobile, but probably won't win today. Vincent, good morning, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. Woo! With an exclamation point back at you. Riley, let's go. We will be going to watch the show. Trim Reaver, good morning, Coach Dan, the mighty Duke Crew. Exclamation point, let's go, Lions. Woo! Queen Mary's in the house. Mary Smith, good morning, Duke Crew. Just checking in, but I'll listen later. Have church service today. And to all my queens, sisters, and kings, have a blessed and safe day. See y'all tomorrow. We'll see you then. Have a great day, Mary. Hopefully you enjoy it. Coach Rock, good morning, Mary. David, greetings, sad tasted Coach and Duke Crew. Back at you. Hookadoo, grit morning, Duke Crew, one pride. What was the good news? I overslept. Well, hopefully you caught most of it. The program 11, go Lions, go. I like the way you're foretelling the future. Lauren, Lindsey Vaughn crashed this morning on one of her runs and airlifted to hospital. Sorry to hear that. I'm assuming we're talking about the Olympics. And yeah, I haven't even checked out the news yet this morning. Thank you for that, Lauren, very much. Any more seniors, stay blessed, Queen Mary. There you go. Brian, good morning, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. And back at you. Make a fabulous day, my friend. Golf, what do you got? If Seattle wins, my 11-year-old son has a perfect playoff pick. Hey, he's done a great job then. You might want to take him to Vegas. Coach Rock, nothing yet. Hookadoo, still waiting for the grit and good morning. Back at you both. Silver Server, if New England stops the run and put it on Darnold, I think they win. If New England does not stop the running of Kenneth Walker, Seattle wins. Okay. Let's see. Ornery U of M Dan. Good morning, everyone. And same to you. Make it a great day. Damien, pancakes, a warm fire situations on this Super Sunday to Dan and the Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Hopefully you enjoy a great Super Sunday, my friend. Hookadoo, Grit Morning, Rock, and all my friends of Grit and the Duke Crew. Woo! And hey, good wood to you too. Silver, good morning, Mary, Riley, and Trim. Let's see, Thomas. Turning Point halftime show in Seattle by 5. Not watching Hate America First halftime show. Yeah, I don't know anything about that, man. Let's see, Server. Hello, Hookadoo. Dre Day. People understanding Sam Darnold is going to take over this game. Maybe. Thomas, 100% since Vincent. Coach Rock, what do you got? Kraft must be Goodell's best friend. Another Super Bowl with this team. They've done some good stuff for rebuilding, haven't they? Henry Moore, good morning, Sir Hookadoo. Prince of Grit, he may be the Prince of Grit. Dennis, good morning. All sounds like great news about Brian Branch. I would agree. And again, it's just Achilles injuries. We all get it. The recovery process has come a long way. And without knowing if it was a partial tear, a nick in it, full tear, rupture, whatever, that's going to affect some stuff for sure. Let's see. Gun Guy. Drake's a pocket passer like a quarterback should be. He doesn't rely on his mobility often. It might be. Vincent, I got Seattle 34, Rams 31. Pierce Sargent, I still think Branch gets franchise tag. Maybe. JK Vegas is going to throw that curveball. Ooh, calling out the future. Cynthia, good morning, everyone. Happy snowy Sunday. Enjoy it. Vincent, us. The Lions are us, aren't they? Hookadoo, good morning, Silver, and Mr. Grit Henry, all the above. Hookadoo is cheering on the Lions. I'm not sure there. Henry Moore Sr., good morning, Queen Mary. Coach Rock, too cold to snow here, Cynthia. Hey, that's pretty cold. Let's see, Eddie, on the Achilles tendon, I said this before, if rehab is going great, then he will be fine. I know this from experience with my Achilles tendon. I think the Lions should go to natural grass. We'll find out what they do. David, Benny Blades and William White are coming out of retirement to play for the Lions. Probably don't want that, and not at their ages. I mean, they're older than I am. Let's see, Dre Day. Even if you don't watch halftime show, as long as it's on TV, it counts as a viewer. Yeah, there you go. Silver, Cynthia, good morning, dear. Marcia, thank you, Silver, for including me into your good mornings. I appreciate that with an exclamation point or two. Eddie, if the Lions go natural grass, it might prevent ankle, foot, and knee injuries. It might probably help, but I don't know. So Hookadoo, Silver, and Grit Morning Henry. Cynthia, Grit Morning Silver, exclamation point. Hope you're well. Thomas, never gave him his due or even close, but got to give Sam Darnold his due, exclamation point. 4 new teams, 4 new OCs in 4 years. Wow, kudos. Hey, kid's done a lot of stuff, huh? Coach Rock, natural grass would be a lot better instead of that rubber junk flying in your eyes and stop the play havoc on the body. All right? Yeah, maybe. Any more, Junior? Good Sunday morning, everyone. Exclamation point. Woke up with a headache. I just want to stop in. Hope it's gone by kickoff. I put cash on the Seahawks, my daughter's favorite team. She lives near Seattle. So go Seahawks. Enjoy the game. Hopefully feel better, my friend. Silver, Eddie, agree on the grass, and at that point have the courage to put up a retractable roof. Let teams come to Detroit, wind chills, all the rest. Hot dogs taste better also. So there are some teams that have retractable fields. I don't know if there's any in the the Midwest, northern, colder hemisphere, but I know there are some out west that have it. Basically, you can slide the field out, let it get sun, grow, repaired, and everything, and then slide it on game day. I've often been surprised the Fords haven't looked into that, but I know it would come at a significant cost. Vincent Darnold looked like a third overall pick. Hey, how about that? Pierce, please don't injure players. Let's try to avoid that. Pierce, no to John Fitzpatrick. We'll take him off the list. Cynthia, hey, Brock, not much better here. Stay warm. Exclamation point, back at you both. Server, Cynthia, hanging in there. Thank you. Miles Morgan, Aya Hookadoo. Hope it's Lions game this game day this time next year. 100%. Let's get in the Super Bowl next year. Henry Moore Sr., good morning, Junior. Hope you feel better shortly. I concur. Johnny, what I know as the wedge became known as the push tush is still the wedge in my book. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Henry Moore Jr., Amen, Miles Marker. Hookadoo. Good morning, Miles Marker. We are definitely on the same page on that. I like the way you're both thinking. Cynthia, good morning, Henry and Hookadoo. Big D, good morning, crew, late but present. Thank you for always being a part of the crew. Amy, yes, Silver Surfer, my son is definitely a Lions fan. Exclamation point. Good morning, Hookadoo. Let's see, Senior Henry, Queen Mary, and all the wonderful Lions faithful. Exclamation point. What's everyone eating for the game? We are doing chili, go Lions. And hey, well, that's a great question. What is everybody going to have for the big game? Pierce would love Rocky Singh to be back. Me too. Hookadoo, morning, Queen Mary and Cynthia, Sisters of Grit. That might be true. Henry Moore Sr., good morning, Queen Amy. Thomas, would like to say, of course, because of the O-line last year, we do not run the ball effectively. Get back to 50% of Sonic and Knuckles. No one of the Lions watch film. No one on the Lions watch film. I'm assuming they do. Knuckles average rush higher last 6 games. All right, Goff. Let's go, Caden. All right. 199 watching, only 50 likes. Come on, y'all. Smash that like button. Yeah, hit the like, subscribe, all that stuff. Cynthia, good morning, Sister Mary. Stay safe and warm. 1,000%. Hookadoo, Amy, may the grit be with your day and happy birthday to your son. Well said. Amy, good morning, Sir Henry. Exclamation point. Golf, sharing that this helps Dan and the Duke crew? Yes, it does. Thank you very much. Thomas, let's see, Sam Laporta, I'm extremely concerned. Just don't come back from back surgeries. I've had 5, not even close to janitor talent. We better secure that position. We'll find out, but it sounds like he's doing pretty dang well. Of course, he's also got healthcare services and provisions afforded to him that, let's be fair, most people don't have. So he's got a whole lot of good stuff going for him. Roland May, what he got was a good thing we didn't draft Jake. Pierce got arrested. Maybe Brad knows his stuff. I'm guessing they did their homework, looking into the person, seeing if he would be a good fit here. You know, when something like this happens, obviously they probably were correct on their assessment of the situation. Goff Stafford has hurt his back several times, and he won the MVP. That is accurate. Let's see. Coach Rock heard the Lions brought stock in bubble wrap. Maybe. Thomas Laporta, the back is the rear of your core physically. It's a part of everything you do in lifting a cup of coffee. Again, I pray 100% healthy, but extremely concerned. Yeah, but 2 other points, like Stafford had several back injuries his last few years here in Detroit. It hasn't stopped him or slowed him down. In the last 5 years, he's not been here, and obviously he just won the MVP. Amy, Lauren, I am one of those likes and now up to 68! Exclamation point. Come on, Duke crew, make Dan's day. Push those buttons. Thank you for all that. Golf, Hawk would be amazing pickup if he gives a discount. Let's see if they do. Thomas, hit the like, y'all, with the thumbs up and exclamation point. Big D, we'll draft a tight end. I think we will probably draft a tight end. Pierce, I'm more worried about Kirby. I'd say that's probably accurate. I mean, Kirby's got a lot of moving parts with that knee, no pun intended. And where he's at, there's just really been no updates that I'm aware of, at least. Hoodoo, Ricky plastic bubble of the team in the offseason. Maybe they should put everybody in the bubble boy mode. Thomas, for tight end, Hawkinson comeback? Absolutely not. To Henry Moore Jr., 30-27. Ooh, there's a score prediction finally. Hoodoo, Rocky, Silver's Heart, Marsha, it is my pleasure. My problem is that I have interactions with so many over the years that it is very difficult to greet everyone. Sometimes I forget, question mark, did I say hi to her? Maybe him or her. How about that? Pierce or Hookadoo, how about this? Get rid of the often injured players. Could be where you go. Dre Day, medical sciences is better when you have the top surgeons and NFL players have better pain tolerance than your average know-it-all fans. If doctors say he will be fine, then he will be fine. Yeah, and they just have certain levels of recovery in the process or things afforded to them that most people just don't have. I mean, think about all the personal trainers they have to help you get through things. You know, and most people just don't have that when you are recovering from something. All right, Coach Rock, thanks, Hookadoo. But believe it or not, that's my brother's name. Hey, how about that, Golf? Watching with my son, Caden, eating wings and nachos. Not wrong there. That's a good time, if you ask me, and especially if you have a delicious Mountain Dew from the Circle K along with a little hot sauce, a little not hot sauce in the Mountain Dew. Hookadoo, Pierce, that's hitting the nail on the head. Exclamation point. Pierce, Hookadoo, especially the most often injured players in the entire, I'm assuming, NFL. Marshawn, thank you, Henry. Exclamation point. Good morning to you. Coach Rock. Pierce, did you hear the Lions are talking to Davenport because he finished the last couple of games last year? How about that? Kim, NFL script is to have a close game to keep fans tuned in for the entire game. Could be accurate. JK, Pierce, we need Davenport like players need a roster. Okay. Pierce, Rocky, then I am furious with Brad Holmes if he comes back. We'll find out, but we do not know if Davenport will be back. Hookadoo, Rock and Ricky, well, your parents like to rhyme, Rocky. All right, with the thumbs up. Thomas, free agent / draft. This is a year now to go after stud player free agents. We wait, ? Miss the boat. Let's hope we don't miss the boat. Pierce, JKY, ? He has played less than half the games. Silver Server, Pierce, the best thing about Kirby out. Everything else is gravy. Brian Branch, I don't believe it until I see it. Detroit needs safeties. I like Harbor, but he gets hurt tackling. Needs learn. All right. Johnny, goodbye to hello, Ahmed Hassani. We'll say hello to Ahmed. Henry Moore, Sr., anytime, my friend Marsha, I pray you are blessed. JK, laughing out loud, JK. Pierce Sargent, JK, I was going to agree with you on depth like players, but they need to play to be depth. Silver Surfer, you feel for that one, Pierce. Exclamation point. Coach Rock, Pierce, send that message to Brad. JK, depth equals healthy. Ready, I agree. Thomas, must go. Exclamation point. Davenport Raider and use that cash for huge signing, for free agent signing. We'll see if they do. Coach Rock. All right, Hookadoo. Coach Rock, if they keep DDI, I'll fire Brad. You might want to. Pierce, Rocky, he's already called the fan base dumb for questioning DDI. We good to remember. Goff, if we don't get a center, we'll be stuck in average. I would agree with that. Coach Rock, do you think we should retire? But he's had an easy job in the NFL. Thomas, nobody in the Lions organization is thinking about Davenport or Reader. Might be true. Thomas, I'm still upset Ahmed didn't get playing time in his last game. 20 to 30 plays. For us to be successful, his presence must be felt. Love his go attitude. Yes, but I would just say if you trust in coaching staff, they didn't feel like he was ready to be on the 53-man roster. He wasn't there yet. Maybe he will be next year. All right, Dre Day, Davenport, no, but there are whispers about keeping Reader. We'll find out. Coach Rock, Silver, I wish that was true, but you know Brad. Pierce, Dre Day, Reader got healthy here. He did. He stayed surprisingly healthy here compared to his time with the Bengals. JK, I'll keep Reader, but for change, maybe. Amy, I'm more interested in the commercials versus the halftime show. I would probably agree with that. Exclamation point. Let's compare favorite commercial smile. We probably can do that. Thomas, when, quote, Bad Bunny comes out and says he hates America, well, that tells me all I need to know. Did he do that? I am not aware of that. Let's see. Pierce, honestly, as a rock fan, I would have been fine with Green Day as halftime show. All right, Hookadoo. I don't know enough about Bad Bunny to even draw an opinion. Me neither, man. I don't know anything. Silver Ahmed, it's the 6th-round pick who has gotten back. Yes, he has. They weren't going to throw him at the Dogs in a must-win. Exclamation point. Because that was a must-win for Campbell. I agree. And, no disrespect to Ahmed Hassani, but if the coaching staff doesn't feel like you're really going to be able to come in and help, especially since you want to win that game, you're putting him out there just to put him out there. And that's not fair to the team, in my opinion, if you're playing to win, if your designs were to play to win. Johnny, good morning, Lions fans on Super Bowl Sunday. I'm ready for that thought. All right. Lauren, let's see. Halftime performers don't get paid because it usually boosts their music sales incredibly. Might be. Dre Day. Yes, Pierce, if they resign him, it would not be as a starter, but a rotational piece with Tyleek and Aleem. Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about DJ Reader. Yes, we'll find out. Thomas, what happened to having patience with the running game? You cannot just come out and get 5 to 10 yards per carry every game. Use the winning game, then passing game to get back to running game. All right. Pierce, But Dre Day, he at least suits up for games. That's the bar now for the Lions depth players. Could be. Goff, how about Five Fingers Death Punch? Don't know that one as well. Gun Guy, Bad Bunny is a cross-dressing Mexican who hates America. I don't know anything about that, so I can't really speak on it. Dre Day, Silver Surfer, thank you on that. Alliance wanted to win, and Ahmed was not ready for the stage yet. It could be. Easy. I like Demo. I have no interest in watching the Super Bowl. Don't watch it, my friend. Totally understandable. Same Old Soup Puppy Bowl at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Animal Planet. I'll have to go check that out. Super fan, Hutch, good morning, Duke Crew, exclamation point. Back at you, my friend. Thanks for helping getting over the news on James Pierce Jr., by the way. Pierce, just hoping we have some good commercials this year. Yeah, that to me, that's one of the more entertaining parts about the Super Bowl is the commercials. Dre Day, he does more than sit up, according to Tyleek and Aiden. Reader was the main reason to stopping the tush push. How about that? Maybe we will bring him back. How do you do? Is the Puppy Bowl on Animal Planet? It sounds like that from what I read in the comments section. Let's see. Coach Rock, Gun Guy, make sure you turn the channel so you don't count as a watcher. All right? Thomas, look, if you want, okay, yeah, we're not getting into all this this stuff. I just don't do politics and all that stuff. You guys don't like the halftime performer, that's fine. I don't know enough about him to like him or hate him. I'm just not going to get into it. Let's see, Silver Jake K agreed on Reader if cheap, but Reader is not cheap, I believe. Okay. JK, wonder what the new movies will show up on Super Bowl commercials. I'm assuming, and it sounds like the Avengers one. And yes, I'll be camping outside of the theater for probably about 2 months ahead of time before the new Avengers movie comes out. Dre Day, Bad Bunny is American, though. All right, could be. I don't know enough about the dude. Superfan Hutch, yeah, with the new reports coming out, would be shocked if the Falcons don't cut him. Arthur, cut Prime, Michael Vick. James Pierce isn't Michael Vick. You are right about that. I forgot about what happened with Michael Vick. Yeah, we'll find out what happens in time. Pierce Sergeant, this Pierce guy is a loudmouth who blames DTI for everything. Life annoyances, laughing out loud. Hey, it happens, man. Somebody's got to be the punching bag. I've been holding that one for a whole show. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see. Gun Guy shutting out the TV for halftime, watching Turning Point on YouTube. I don't know what Turning Point is. Let's see. Easy. Rita said he wanted to get out of Detroit because he was sick of the windows getting broken into. How about that? JK, Puerto Rico is American-owned. People tend to forget. Hey, there you go. Dre Day Pierce, that's funny right there. JK, right. Silver Thomas, SS, we must get that D fixed. Exclamation point. In the Super Bowl, Seattle's 6th best, Pat's 8th best. That's our issue. We have terrible on D. We need it most. We need to improve the D. I'm down with that. Coach Rock, for the old guy, anything after the 80s, I don't watch, laughing out loud. My dad used to get after me and my music too. To your point, Coach Rock, I mean, I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and I can remember people hating, hair metal bands. I remember when rap became big and I started listening to, I guess it would be like NWA, Public Enemy, Eric B. and Rakim and stuff. There are a lot of people that threw shade at that. So it's just my guess, I think, per your point, if you grew up with it, that's your norm. That's what you embrace. As you get older, people are going to throw shade at it. And we're probably going to throw shade at, like my daughter's music. She's 14. I don't know those artists, but I'm sure there are people that hate those artists and she loves them. Gun Guy. Yeah, it's funny how Bunny hates. Yeah, I don't know anything about this. And yeah, so anyways, I can't speak on the guy. Pierce, straight in, I was waiting for someone to catch on before I said it. Nothing wrong with that. Dennis, Ahmed has hired a trainer to work on his technique daily. I think his dad mentioned something about that on the show maybe earlier this week during the offseason. Dedication like that as to his fire will make him a fierce force to be reckoned with. I hope so. I think we all agree. Ahmed Hassani's got a lot of stuff you can't teach. You can't teach passion. You can't teach heart. You can't teach desire. I can't teach, height, speed, athleticism. You can teach technique, and that seems to be what he's going after. All right, Sir Pierce Sergeant Pierce, exclamation point, be glad, as you should never see DDI with the Lions uniform again, I hope. Well, we hope. Hey, speaking of Hassini Manley, good morning, Coach Dan, the Duke Crew, and all my friends watching Lions Talk Live. Hopefully you're having an awesome afternoon in Cairo. Hey, more. Good afternoon, Mr. Hassini. Silver, sir. Good morning, Mr. Hassini. Exclamation point. Pierce. Silver, it was a joke on James Pierce's last name. Nothing wrong with that. Dennis, good afternoon, Mr. Hassini. Kim, 7 degrees in TC, but supposed to be warm up, I think, positive. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Traverse City, maybe Traverse City. Hookadoo, Mr. Hassini, great afternoon, my friends. Silver Surfer is smiling strong with an okay. Just greetings, salutations to all. I wonder what kind of satanic ritual will be formed in halftime show this year. A little food for thought after the PDF flies dropped. I guess I don't know where we're going with this. Hassini Manley, good morning, my new friend Dennis. All right. Hey, good morning to all. Cynthia, good morning, Mr. Hassini. Southwest, go Lions, skip the Super Bowl. Hey, let's cheer on the Lions. Man, I guess we should maybe rewatch the Lions versus Bears as our Super Bowl. Let's see, Hassini Manley, good morning, Mr. Hercules, Silver Server, Big Eddie, JK, Cynthia. Welcome back, Cynthia and Queen Mary. Yeah, Cynthia was gone, it feels like for a couple days. Cynthia, I hope there's to be good TV commercials in between the game. I hope you're right. And again, as I said earlier, welcome back. Hassini Manley, Cynthia, happy to see you back on the attack for sure. Michael, Lions practice outside in real grass. They do. Let's see, Dre Day. That's right. The Lions normally do practice on grass outside. Yes, they have very nice outdoor practice facilities. Cynthia, thank you, Mr. Hassini. Exclamation point. Johnny, Detroit hosted the Super Bowl in 06, and the Rolling Stones from England played halftime. With all the Michigan musical talent that has me scratching my head, not that I don't like the Stones. Yeah, just is what it is. They sign different people, and yes, I know some people say it needs to be an American performer, but I can remember a lot of Super Bowls that did not have an American-based performer. All right, Ogadoo. If Sheila did something like a retractable field, you don't have to be a billionaire to afford tickets. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Pierce, happy the Cowgirls are putting the tag on Pickens so the Packers can't try to get him. I like that indeed. Coach Rock seems like it's already there. Hookadoo. Henry Moore Sr., have a glorious day, my friends. I'll chat with you tomorrow. Enjoy the game, my friend. Have a great day. Hookadoo. Ain't that the truth? Rock. Golf. Lifting a cup of cold, fresh Mountain Dew. That's a great way to start your day, if you ask me. I say, Manley, good morning, Mr. Henry L. Rock, Queen Mary, all the above. Coach Rock, good morning, Mr. Hassini. How's your weather? Hopefully warmer than here. I say, Manley, good morning, Mr. Henry Moore. Amy, thank you, Hookadoo, and thanks to my son's birthday regards. Exclamation point. Edie Adventures, man, talking about something we haven't seen in a hot minute. Good morning, and same to you. Golf, what do you got? Plus, pro athletes are uber focused, and most have kept their elite conditions year round. Their bodies recovering fast. Yeah, 100%. They put the right fuel into it. They have so many advantages over the average individual. I do suspect both guys, especially with their age, will recover fairly well. David, Laporta will be fine. Be back. Ooh, I see what you did there. Laporta back. Yes. I've been. Surgery made a full recovery. Glad you're doing A-okay, Silver Server. I hear you rock them. And there you go, exclamation points. Anymore, a glorious day to you, my friend Hassini Manley. Same old soup. Bad Bunny is an American citizen. He's from Puerto Rico. Correct with that. He is an American. There you go. Derek, I'll be watching the other halftime show on YouTube. Some will, some won't. Some won't even watch the halftime show. I typically do not. I'm typically eating, talking to friends, family, and stuff like that. So, or watching if they've already played one of the trailers for the new Avengers, I'll probably be watching that. Or maybe if there's a John Wick 29 or something like that trailer, I'll rewatch that. Let's see, Pierce. I grew up on 90s metal. There you go. Let's see, Silver Server, halftime show. James Brown, please come back from the dead. Hey, maybe they'll do like one of those, what do you call it, hologram things. Maybe they'll do that. Pierce, and since my mom's side is from just outside Detroit, was shown M&M and Kid Rock at the age of 5. Hey, there you go. Dennis, I was in high school in the 70s, best time in history of music. Okay. Okay, I like some metal Pierces, not all. Hassini Manley, don't worry about my son Ahmed. He will earn his spot on the team goal lines. I believe you're correct. I think he will earn his spot with the team for sure. David, bring back marching bands. Maybe they will. That's not a bad idea. Gumby, happy Super Bowl Sunday! Exclamation point, and back at you, Gumby. Hookadoo, agreed, Dennis. I graduated in 81. Gumby, 77. Coach Rock, David, that would be great. Love to watch a marching band since my first college game. Yeah, maybe that'd be a way to make everybody happy, is just put something out there neutral like marching bands. Maybe, although let's be fair, somebody's not going to like it. I was in high school marching band director for 35 years. Exclamation point. Obviously, I like them too. Nothing wrong with that. That was, we all need to pay attention to what's going on truly in American sports. Hey, something's always happening with the sport in America. Detroit, people are making bad time show. Political need to stop. Yes, we don't do politics here. If you don't like the band or the singer, just watch something else. It's really that easy. Just flip the channel. Let's see, Thomas, Seattle 27, Pats 20. We'll take that. Same old soup. It takes 74 to 78 muscles to pick up a cup and drink from it. Ooh, something I did not know. Amy, 75. Going price is right there. She's going to do one more. All right, Gumby, Pats 27 to 24. We'll take that. Let's see, Hugadoo. I guess you don't like Amanda Hassanin then, Thomas. Phil, MC5, Rare Earth, Michael Ryder, Bob Seger. Okay, Coach Rock, the major running out bent backwards with his hat hitting the ground was amazing. The major running, okay, bent out, yep. Just why would the NFL bring in such a controversial artist? I didn't know there's any controversy about him, to be honest. But I don't really pay attention to stuff like that. All right, guys, if there is breaking news today, which, to be honest, it's Super Sunday, there probably, unless there really is something extraordinary, there probably won't be breaking news today. But if there were, I'll get over to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, if you would be so kind before the party, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit all the buttons. Take care. Enjoy your Super Sunday. Do something kind for somebody you don't know. Be a good human being. And we'll see you guys all on the very next Lions Talk Live. Take care. Enjoy your game. Whoever you're going to watch it with, enjoy the day.